Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for taking the time out to join us. We'll be starting at 3 p.m. sharp. All right, so let's start. So good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for taking the time out to join us today. So welcome to today's webinar, where we'll be introducing our SkillsFuture Career Transition Program. So I'm Chu Qian, an ICT Product Manager at NTUC LearningHub, and I'll be your host today. So throughout the webinar, if you have any questions, you can enter them into the Q&A box in the control panel below, and we will address them throughout the webinar and during the Q&A session at the end. So now I will share an overview of this agenda. So I will start with an overview, and then thereafter you will hear from each of our subject matter experts who will dive deeper into each program, and then we will end up with a Q&A session. So what is this SkillsFuture Career Transition Program about? So supported by SkillsFuture Singapore, SCTP is actually a train and place program to support mid-career individuals in acquiring industry-relevant skills to improve your employability so that you can pivot to new sectors or job roles. So the trainees who attend our training courses will actually also get some career advisory services and employment facilitation. So we have highlighted 3 key features here. So first that you see is that our program is actually designed in collaboration with leading knowledge partners and subject matter experts such as AWS, ISC Square, Oracle, KPMG, Microsoft, and Isaka. And it will feature industry-relevant courses and certifications to ensure your smooth transition to your desired role in the workplace. Secondly, in addition to the structured training you will also get several opportunities to apply what you have learned on the real-world problems through capstone projects and/or on-the-job training. And this will take place in the form of independent or group work. And thirdly, you will also receive employment facilitation services to enhance your employability, and I will share more in the next slide. So throughout this program, our internal career facilitation team will also be coming in to support with 1, Career Resilience Executive Workshop in collaboration with E2I. Second would be job matching initiatives and regular career fairs and webinars. Third would be personalized virtual advice and on resume writing, interview strategies and techniques. And fourth is you will also get a digital career coach via a Career Agility Hub application, which you can use throughout your career. In addition to this, we'll also have more opportunities to improve your career prospects. Now, NTUC LearningHub, we have a strong track record in delivering placement-based programs, and we have actually successfully placed our trainees in these companies that you see here today. But of course, do note that there is no placement guarantee in this program. So in designing these programs, we also studied in-demand skills and jobs reported in the market. So here you see a recent skills research report that shows the adoption of new technologies have actually transformed jobs across sectors, offering all of us opportunities to better our skills and pivot to new careers. And so our SkillsFuture Career Transition Program that is designed in partnership with knowledge partners and subject matter experts will help you to upgrade your digital skill sets to pivot into emerging job roles with strong demand. Now, touching on the program eligibility, there are a few criteria you need to take note of. So this program is only open to Singapore citizens and PR job seekers aged 21 and above. Okay, you must fulfill the minimum entry requirements of each program, which I'll be sharing more later. And you must attain at least 75% training attendance for each module and pass all associated assessments and projects. Okay, so now I'll show you the 4 tracks that we actually have as part of this SCTP. So we have the Associate Data Analyst, Oracle Java Programmer, Digital Marketing and Graphic Design Specialist, as well as the Cybersecurity Associate Program. Now, all programs will be delivered full-time, which means 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day, and will range from 3.5 to 4.5 months. Do note that the Cybersecurity Associate Program consists of 1.5 months of training and 3 months on-the-job training with KPMG. So that's why you see that the duration is slightly longer. So with regards to entry requirements, we do have some minimum education requirements. So whether it's a minimum diploma in science, tech, engineering, or math discipline. And then for digital marketing and graphic design specialists, minimum NITEC. And for cybersecurity associate, we need a minimum diploma in STEM and at least 2 years experience in network or system administration. So with regards to these entry requirements, if at any time you are unclear, you can always speak to our course consultants to find out whether or not you meet the minimum entry requirements. Now, with regards to the mode of class conducted, so most of them will be conducted via VLC, which stands for Virtual Live Class. All right, so these programs will be fully virtual, except for the digital marketing and graphic design specialist, which will be conducted in a hybrid format, which is a combination of virtual and face-to-face class. So this program will have face-to-face sessions due to some more special software that we require. All right, so if you look on the rightmost column, that's the class dates, the class start and end dates of the first cohort. Okay, so do note that the Associate Data Analyst program, as well as the Digital Marketing program, commence in October. And then the Java Programmer and Cybersecurity Associate program starts in November. So this will be the date of our first cohort. And because there are limited seats for these programs, do make sure to apply as soon as possible. All right. So next, I will touch on the funding schemes offered by SkillsFuture Singapore for this SCTP. So depending on your trainee profile, you will actually be eligible for different funding schemes. So if you're a Singapore citizen or a Singaporean PR, 21 years old and above, you will get up to 70% of cost-free funding. If you are a Singapore citizen, aged 40 years old and above, you will get 90% of cost-free funding, also called the Mid-Career Enhanced Subsidy. And if you're a citizen that you are either, a long-term unemployed, which means unemployed for 6 months or more, or you are in need of financial assistance, for example, you are currently on ComCare, short to medium-term assistance, or workfare income supplement, or you are persons with disabilities, you are eligible for up to 95% of cost-free funding, also termed as additional funding support. And just note that on top of this funding, you can also tap on other schemes such as the SkillsFuture credit, the post-secondary education account, and the Union Training Assistance Program to offset the remaining cost fees. All right. So this is an overview of the program fees across the 4 different programs. All right. So the different programs have slightly different cost fees. And the fee payable after 70% funding, after 95% funding, include GST. So what you see here will be the net payable fee. And just a reminder is that on top of this funding, you can also tap on other schemes such as the SkillsFuture Credit, UTAP, and the post-secondary education account. So all this information is actually also listed on our program landing page on LHUB'S site, which I will share with you later as well. So I'm just going to walk you through the application process. So let's say you're interested in this program. So now you have to submit your resume and profile to be considered. So how do you do that? So first you can scan this QR code to head to our program landing page. All right, so this program landing page will also have a lot more information that you can refer back if let's say you have any questions. So after you scan this QR code, you will actually land on our landing page. So here you have a program overview, entry requirements and duration. And you will see this Apply Now button circled in red. So click apply now to move to our external site Zopa. And this is actually where you will need to submit your resume and profile. So this is an AI-powered website, and this is what will help us to review your application. So on this site, on this Zopa site, you should click on the Apply Now button again, and you will be actually led to a form to fill in your profile and upload your resume. So make sure to be as detailed as possible when you are filling out the application, so we can help to assess your profile. And shortlisted applicants will be contacted for an interview. All right, so the application process looks like this. So I'll show the QR code here again, but basically you will submit your profile and resume through the Zopa portal. Shortlisted applicants will be notified to attend an interview, and upon successful interview, we will actually enroll you into the program and you can commence training and the employment facilitation services. All right. So next up, we have our trainer to speak about the Oracle Java Programmer. All right. And just a reminder to park any questions you have in the Q&A box, and we will answer them throughout the program, throughout the webinar, and also at the end in the Q&A session. So over to you, Chandra.
Thank you, Chipian. Hey, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chandra. I'll be presenting you the information about the Oracle Java program, which is part of this curriculum. Okay, so SCTP, Oracle Java Programmer. I'm Chandra. The program starts on 7th November up to 28th Feb 2023. Okay, so there's a brief outline that I would like to share with you, okay, about this particular program. So what are the modules that we are going to cover in this particular program, and what's the sequence of your execution of this particular program? So let's get started with understanding a bit about where we come from. I am Chandra, as I have already mentioned, over 21 years of experience. I'm based out of Kuala Lumpur. I'm a middleware technology specialist, working all my life on Java and the stack on top of Java. I'm also a multi-cloud certified specialist, AWS, Azure, Oracle, and LHUB'S clouds. And I've been doing consulting and training for software professionals, and I've trained a few thousands of them, in the last 21 years. Okay, so that's about me. I'll be the primary responsible person for this particular program in NTUC. Okay, now just to give you a heads up, okay, so for this particular program, if you are interested, okay, we are basically looking for this hardware and software requirements. So Windows on a machine, a Mac machine with the 64-bit architecture, 8 GB RAM. Okay, if possible, dual monitor. Okay, now that's, I just wanted to get that out of the picture, that we should have minimum of these hardware and software requirements, because this is a virtual class that will be happening over the Zoom sessions. So with this configuration and a good internet connectivity, the program should run very smooth. Okay, now the Java developer program that we are running here, okay, will typically start with introduction to programming and web development. So that's the first module that we're going to cover. Okay, that's for 5 days. As a part of that particular program, we'll be talking about what is programming, what is web application development. We'll be introducing terms and terminology like HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. And we are going to talk about how to develop applications using web application development model, as well as the 3-tier architecture and N-tier architecture models. We're going to talk about what are web applications, what are desktop applications, and where does database comes into picture in this entire application development process. Okay, so all the program is 50% theory, 50% practice, hands-on practice. Okay, having said that, okay, now one of the USPs of this entire program is that we just don't do theoretical concepts. We also do capstone projects associated with each and every topic. Like, you do 5 days of introduction to programming and web development, and then we do a mini project on top of that for the next 5 days. Okay, so that will be capstone project that will be, handling for 5 days. Typically, developing a calculator, developing a data entry form, writing a small game in, web application using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. These are the few things that we'll be doing as a part of the particular capstone project. Okay, so having said that, after the web part is done, we move on to the database fundamentals. Okay, so here we'll be talking about MySQL database. Okay, predominantly we'll be talking about what are the database concepts. We'll be introducing you how to create database objects. How do you manipulate data, that is insertions, updations, deletions, and querying data? How data gets stored on the database, and how do you do administration, at a very basic level. This is just to introduce to you the database fundamentals and database technologies. So we'll not be doing a deep dive on, administration, but rather maintain a database on your laptop. So that's what we are trying to give you concepts related to. For the database fundamentals, we don't have any capstone project because of the paucity of time. We just deliver the database fundamentals for 5 days. And after that, we move to Java programming. Java SC Programming 1. This program is an official curriculum from Oracle. We're going to deliver the official Oracle curriculum, SC Programming 1, for 5 days. So in that, we're going to talk about what is programming for beginners. Anyone who is new to programming, will be given a methodical introduction to programming. Okay, we'll be giving you an idea about what are the typical concepts that are common across all programming languages. We're going to talk about object-oriented programming. We're going to talk about Java libraries, Java APIs. Okay, and most of the concepts, or all of the concepts that we're going to cover as a part of this particular program, will also have a hands-on practice. Okay, so where you'll be carrying out, practice sessions for every single topic. Okay, now, because Java is the basis of this entire project, okay, so once we are done with the training Java SC Programming Level 1, we'll be doing a capstone for that for 10 days. Now, this is going to be a good project that we're going to do for particular, for one 10-day session. Okay, so we only do the theory for 5 days, but we do the practice for 10-day session. The last time when we did this project, okay, we have done a banking system. We have done a banking system, a core banking system, where we have account management, customer management, transaction management, all the basic functionality of a bank, without all the web or GUI concepts. We're just doing a command line based core banking application. That's what the capstone has successfully achieved. Okay, so that's the capstone project for Java SC1. Then we're going to do the Java SC Programming Level 2. Okay, so where SC Programming 1 introduces the Java at a fundamental level, SC Programming 2 will take you to the advanced concepts of Java, whether it is collections, whether it is streams, whether it is modules, multi-threading, parallel processing. We're talking about file IO, database IO, all the additional concepts. We're going to talk about that, including exception handling, lambdas, modules, file, native IO, security, and JDBC. So these are the concepts that we're going to talk about as a part of Java SC Programming Level 2. Okay, so this is a 5-day session. This is an advanced concept of Java. That's why we put 10 days of capstone before that. Then we go to part 2 of the Java programming. And after the part 2 of the programming, we do a small capstone project for 5 days. So whatever mini project that we have implemented in capstone 2, we are going to enhance that in capstone 3. So adding functionality like multiple user, concurrent processing, parallel processing, exception handling, and making sure your Java project is using the latest standards by using modules, database IO, and file IO. All the concepts that we learn in programming 2, we're going to incorporate them in the project within the 5 days for capstone project 3. And after this, we're going to start with Spring Boot fundamentals. Now, Spring Boot is how most of the enterprise application development is happening as of now in the market. And this is a very big and essential concept for you to secure jobs out in the market. So we are doing this for 10 days, for 10 days. So it's going to be an elaborate training. We're not going to rush through the training. We're going to take 10 days, understand the fundamentals of Spring Boot. How do you use Spring Boot in the real world out there? And how are you going to, use the advanced concepts of Spring Boot? We're going to talk about that. So here we are talking about, hands-on experience and major features of Spring and Spring Boot. How do you make your applications enterprise and cloud ready? We're going to implement multiple mini projects, okay, in the training module itself. That's why we have taken 10 days to deliver this particular project. As I've just said, in the last couple of capstone projects, we do the core banking system. Okay, that is, from command line. Now, during the Spring Boot fundamentals and Spring Boot capstone, we're going to take the banking application and go online. So you can do online banking, online transactions, online, bank applications, as well as mobile application development. We're going to focus a bit on that, not much on the mobile application development, but mostly it will be focused on online banking. Okay, the typical DBS or Maybank banking that you do online. We're going to try to achieve something close to that. Not in entirety, but at least as much as we can do within that Spring Boot fundamentals, as well as the summative and capstone project that follows after that. So the summative and capstone project is for 10 days, where whatever we have learned in the Spring Boot course, okay, we're going to implement all those concepts in this summative and capstone projects. So we have given 10 days for that. Okay, so bringing the banking application to conclusion is what we have done. So first time when we have done this Java developer program, we have done a car rental portal, complete end-to-end implementation of the car rental portal. The second project that we have done is a banking application. So we can think about innovative ideas, and we can use either the car rental portal or the online banking application, or we can come up with something new. Depending upon how the class is progressing, we can take a decision on that. We already implemented successfully. Almost all the students have done the implementation of the online banking application. Okay, so that's the base outline of this particular program. So training for 30 days, capstone and summative projects for 30 days. The total duration will be for 60 days. So that's the Java developer curriculum that I wanted to introduce to you. Okay, so this is not a technical session. I just wanted to understand the flow of this particular program and highlight what are the main USPs or takeaways from this particular project. Okay, so that's about Java developer. That's where I would like to stop. Okay, so if you have any questions, I'll be happy to take them for you. Shikpian?
Hi, Chandra.
Hey.
I think so far we don't have any questions specific to the program yet, but maybe we can hold on till the end of the webinar session for the Q&A. And then meanwhile, I will hand it over to Wilson, who will speak up about the digital marketing and graphic design specialist program.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Can you see my screen? Is it on presentation mode?
Yes, it is on presentation.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Wilson. Can you see me? Sorry, I haven't on the camera. Okay, good afternoon. I'm here to talk about digital marketing and graphic specialist program. Okay, thereafter, my trainer, Don, will speak about graphic design. And on behalf of my trainer for digital marketing, she is actually on MC. So I will talk a little bit more on digital marketing. Okay, what is digital marketing and graphic design? Basically, if you look at this course itself, in fact, there's two job roles. Okay, I have been in this industry for the past 20 years. And digital marketing, in fact, is more about bringing attention and the promotion of brands connecting, using connecting customer using internet and other forms of digital communication. So basically, the job role for digital marketing is to communicate. Sorry, Don, you may want to mute yourself, please.
Sorry about that.
Okay, sorry, everybody. Okay, let me continue. Okay, digital marketing is all about communicating and sharing your information, okay, to the consumer itself. Whereas graphic design is more into the job role of creating visual concept, communicate through the forms like mediums like print, magazines, and website. So in fact, these two roles is interconnected because digital marketing is the forefront. If you're good in copywriting, you're good in communicating, creating ideas, then you may be suitable for digital marketing role because you help to bring the idea of someone, communicate the brand itself to the consumer. Where if you are good in design, writing, creating, and making visual concept then you're good in supporting the digital marketing, the product to market. So if you look at the job role here right now, we have over here, if you took up this course, what can you do after you graduate? So you may be keen in being a marketer or a designer, social media in terms of social media, because right now it's one of the buzzword and the in thing, or even be a content creator. Content creator could be someone who writes about to a press release, or someone who actually create video, or influencer. And maybe you are someone who wants to, it could be in your own boss doing retail and e-commerce product. So this role itself is actually useful for you because you know how to sell the product, you know how to sell the company, brand it, you learn about how to create content. And or if you're really interested in multimedia and graphics. So in this course itself, we have the latest trend. We have industrial experts to teach you how to actually go about doing it. And then we have projects for you to learn, to how to pick up, and then share the industrial experience through individual group as well as group work. So what is the prerequisite, and how can you actually enroll in this course? If you are ITE, diploma, or university graduate, and you would like to reskill, upskill, or even change your career, this is the course for you. Okay, let me share with you why. Okay, out of our research, in the 10 top demanding skill is graphic design, which has 44%, because every company need to brand themselves. Every company need to sell their products, right? And same thing, every company need the support of someone to develop a website. If you do not have a website, it's like you have a house without an address. There's nobody will be able to find what you do. So graphic designer actually helps to develop website, create content, create products, right? So if doing more research into the marketing and graphic specialist itself, in the world population, there are at least 22% or more on Facebook and 51% on Instagram. So the top 10 most looked after job is actually digital marketer as well as graphic design, right? And not only you are working here locally, but actually you can work globally, because with the current trend, with the digital era right now, people move about, because even you can work from home, but your offices is actually globally, right? In Australia or even China. And why digital marketing again? Because it's the most top 10 most in-demand job. In fact, LinkedIn itself, we have more than 860,000 job opening for marketing, as well as graphic design, 355K. And the best part of this job role is you can actually work remotely. So digital marketing itself, if you look at it annually, right, the payroll comes up to about 66,000 Singapore dollars. And these are some of the roles. In fact, once you graduate from this course, you may be keen in as a content writer or even a social media manager. So this is an average payroll that you can find in Indeed or Job Street that we have done some research, and you're looking at the most demand job role. So in the itself, if you look at marketing manager, there are 3,000 over opening right now in Indeed.com. And if you look at the next 5 years, the growth for digital marketing is at least 16%, and the pay will be probably an average. And average doesn't mean this is the lowest. This could be 1 to 3 years experience payroll for annually about 76,000 Singapore dollars. So whereas for graphic design, you're looking at about a year is about $64,000, right? And then this is from Salary Expert. And what can you do if you graduate as a graphic designer or UI UX? So some of the job role as a designer, there's about 3,000 over opening in Singapore right now in Indeed as well. So the demand is there. So don't think of it as you are just purely getting just this role and then you are working as a designer in a company, whether it's an SME or MNC. In fact, it can be global as well. So same thing for graphic design. Annually is about 80K. Also depends on probably this is the next 5 years target that salary experts have a potential estimate projection for salary increase about 25% because the demand is there and the trend for digital marketing has been growing up. So with the course itself, we have this module, 4 modules for the graphic design, which I think Don will share with you more later in about 5 minutes. And myself, I will share a little bit more on social media marketing itself, right? So the course fee itself, you look at for this course itself, with GST, you are paying about 2,175 for 40 years and above. Right, okay, let me go to the next slides. Because due to time, I'll just probably skip. So for digital marketing itself, we have 6 modules, right? And the module itself, first module, there are 8 days. And the social marketing first module for 8 days, we are looking at the marketing tool for business, reach customer, what are the platforms that actually use, because out there, every 6 months, you see that platform changes, you see that new platform coming up. So we keep you updated on the trend itself. And the learning outcome is to identify the group, how you can actually target this potential customer in your business or in your future work. For copywriting, it's important how your message that you want to bring across to your consumer, right? So writing on newspaper and writing online is totally different. And people do not want to read 5 minutes anymore. They probably have to read in 1 minute time, right? So the copywriting is important because you know who are your consumer, your persona, and what kind of landing page you should use, and the regular posting, and how should you often actually post your copywriting. And learning outcome is basically provide you a social media management guideline, and what are the online messaging, how you actually should target or write to your consumer. And for part 2 of the social media marketing, we are actually looking at some of the platform itself, especially the live streaming, how you can look into the virtual shop, your Instagram or Facebook shop, how sometimes of these are entrepreneur people who want to do your own business, sell your own product. So how important live streaming is, right? So the overseas student will be able to learn how to manage both social media in terms of content as well as how to engage your consumer through your product or services. And we have the website. Website is important. It's just like your home address. So every business right now needs a website. So without a website, nobody will be able to find you or know what you do. But having a website, you do not maintain, you do not upkeep. Actually, it's bad for the business because it affects your branding badly. So over here, module 4, we learn how to develop website, how to upkeep your website, and provide students the confidence, not only just maintaining, but how to create new content, how to actually help your business through your websites as well as other platforms that you have. Then module 5, we learn about analytics and SEO. This is important for website because things like how do you actually make key decision, how you want your consumer to look at you, you want your business partner to look at you, because your SEO, your keywords, these are key important in order to attract traffic. And how do you actually use the data to reach out to the correct consumer? And for capstone itself, it's about 4.5 days. This duration course is important because you learn about the industrial experience from the expert. You learn about the real life projects that happen. So in a group as well as individual project, you learn how to do research, you learn how to create new projects, so that not only you learn, but you're actually creating a portfolio for yourself. Right. The assessment itself, you probably have to do up your project, have a certain specific audience, how to write. So your trainer will be your mentor. Your trainer will actually guide you, and thereafter you will need to have a 15 minutes presentation during your capstone project, right? So assessment will be given based on your understanding of your target audience, ability to justify your decision, even your marketing plans and presentation skills. And then there will be, of course, a 2-hour assessment, how you actually understand what you've gone through and the basic modules that you're going to work on. And what are the career options for digital marketing? Okay, I'll probably go through this one last 2 minutes of your time. And the digital marketing specialization, what you do is basically you need to produce content, understand statistics. So this all will be covered. So before you go into your new job role or your upskill, this is good to help you to gain confidence, to gain a new trend and understanding in the market, right? And the content creation strategy, as a marketer, you need to understand that, because then you know who you are targeting, who you are reaching out to. Otherwise, you have issues sending the correct message to the correct audience. Yeah. And of course, social media, we all know social media like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. So how important it is to find the right audience. So as a social media manager, if you go into this role, it is important to learn the skill set from the course so that you improve the customer experience, you improve the sales experience, and connect and engage your customer. So of course, the search engine optimization, these are specialists where other than content writing, maybe you are very keen in terms of number analytics, data. So this is another role that you actually can go in to help company to do research, help company to reach the correct audience and grow the business through SEO. So of course, paid advertising, this is what marketing do. Then you know where is the right audience, how you can actually help to brand the company, do the right campaign as well as advertisement, right? And of course, lastly, we are looking at hosting for those who are into retail, e-commerce. You do not, it's like the trend no longer go into e-commerce where you have website people come and buy, no longer passive. It has to be active. So a virtual event host, live streaming actually help to push product. So all these things you will learn all in the course itself. Right? And the trainer is actually Wan-Li today. She's not well, so I'm helping to cover it. So I'll pass the next speaker to Don, who will talk about more about graphic design. Thank you.
Hello, guys. Thanks for the introduction, Wilson. Hi, everyone. I'm Don. I was just looking through the list. I might see some of you that I know, actually. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, I'm just gonna walk you guys through what to expect in the course itself, and a few things that's relevant. So that if you're thinking of this, you know what you are. What's going to be helpful for you, and is it really so-called what you're looking for, so to speak. Okay, so before I go ahead, okay, so my name is Don. I have been in the media industry for the last, I have to count, about 15 years now. I'm also been in the education line, or the media education, for the last 15 years as well. So before I go ahead, okay, so I manage the graphics design and the video editing portion of this course. I have a team of trainers with me. So yeah, okay, that's how it's going to be run. Now, I just want to start by, let me share my screen. Okay, I just want to start by explaining a little bit about what you can do after the course, and then follow on, I'll explain like some of the modules that's involved, the educational route that is involved, and how it can help you. Right now, so for this particular course, right, there's a few things that we can look at. Okay, in today's modern media world, the internet is something that we cannot live with, and there is a lot of content that's out there, and there's a lot of stories that's out there. If you think about it, somebody has to be doing all these things. All right, and again, like I said, in today's media world, you cannot live without these things, and these people who's creating these things, they are very important. Okay, so we in this course will be learning how to create the different types of content, mainly motion graphics and this visual graphics. Okay, so what are some of the things that we can do? Okay, influencer. Okay, influencer is one of those very popular things that we can do. Okay, the good thing about influencer is that the time is pretty free and easy, but you've got to be well versed in your graphics and motion video portion. Okay, designer. Okay, somebody has to be designing all these things that you see on the internet, isn't it? Okay, so designer, video editor. These days we have a lot of TikToks, we have a lot of YouTube videos that's out there. So in this course, we will be teaching you how to create contents like that with different softwares and the thought process that goes around it. Okay, project manager. We'll talk about creative project manager. The skill that we are looking at today is a lot heavier than what it used to be. There are different platforms today. We have TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and so on and so forth. So somebody has to be handling the campaign itself. Okay, today we don't really call them like individual videos or individual design posts or so on and so forth. We call them campaigns, and somebody has to be managing these things. Okay, so creative project manager, alongside with what Wilson has mentioned just now, marketing specialist is one of the things that we can look at as well. So to be a marketing specialist, you have to know the strategy behind marketing and stuff like what Wilson have mentioned earlier. But also, it is good to be able to speak the designer's language. It is important to speak the video producer's language, video editor's language, whatnot. Okay, so with this course, you will be going through the video editing itself, you'll be going through the designing itself, and these would help you speak the language as editors and designers. So that would be very helpful for marketing specialists as well. So yeah. Okay, and of course, media entrepreneur as well. In Singapore, is actually for creative work, right? There's a lot of freelancers out there. There's also a lot of entrepreneurs like out there that make use of tools like this to help them do services for companies and whatnots. And this, being an entrepreneur, okay, you can involve all these things you have learned. Okay, now I'm gonna just go into what are the things that we will do. Okay, now mainly these three portions that you're seeing there. Okay, so for the content creation side with me, okay, we will be breaking down into three. Number one, visual graphics. Now, what does visual graphics involve? In things like design, things like photography, it will be in there. For those of you who are interested in how to take good pictures, how to design good poster, good banners, what's good for Facebook, what's good for Instagram, this will be the first one, visual graphics. Okay, later on, I'll explain a little bit more on the software that's involved as well. Number two, okay, motion graphics. This is where you talk about video production, okay, taking videos, editing videos, and then followed by doing things like infographics, motion graphics, and things like that. Okay, third one, I think it's the most important of them all. After imparting you guys these tools and knowledge for the first two segments, okay, it would make a lot of sense to put you guys through real or rather simulated projects with studio clients, which is your trainers, maybe myself or some of you, to be going through, like, if a client gives you this creative brief or this set of things that he wants you to do, okay, what would you do? And then we will run a real simulation project that you will be attending to this particular client, and he or she will tell you these are things that he or she requires, and then you will go ahead and churn out some of this content for this client. Now, this will be a very role play sort of scenario. So for us, we have the experience of what clients can be like, and we will be role playing these clients, sometimes difficult, sometimes easier clients to bring you through the project work itself. And through this, we will also be imparting a lot of real world knowledge that it goes beyond really the textbook or the tutorials, the real things that we encounter with clients. All right. So if you look at this image, it's very holistic. We cover the visuals, we cover the motions, and we bring you through the experience. Okay. These three. Now, I'm going to dive in deeper into these three and what are the software that you will be learning. Okay. For visual graphics, okay, these are three main things that we are looking at. Number one, photography. So every one of us who was signing up for the class will be able to handle a DSLR. We'll be providing the DSLR. We'll be guiding you how to use these DSLRs, what are settings like, what does the professionals do, so that you know what's involved, you know how to handle it. And also photography wise, you will be the things that you need to think about when you're shooting for a client and things like that. Okay. And then we have Photoshop. We'll be looking at two components: how to edit pictures, okay, for clients, how to do design with Photoshop as well. Okay. So this one will be the in and outs, everything about Photoshop, the technical parts, okay? And then Illustrator, things like design for vector graphics, things like your logo and whatnot, the tricks that are involved in creating vector-based design. It will be all in Illustrator as well. So if you look at this, it's quite holistic. We cover the photography, we cover the design and photo editing through Photoshop, and we cover this vector design. When we say vector design, it means designing with shapes. Very, very relevant in today's world. If you look at your logo like Apple, Nike, all these logos, they all has been designed through a platform. And in today's world, Illustrator is the gold standard that we are looking at. Okay, so we'll be going through a technical parts of all this. Okay, so this is part one. Part two will be the motion graphics that, like I said, okay, Premiere Pro, you'll be going through how to edit videos, how to put videos together when you handle a script, okay, and you're handling the raw clips. How do you put these raw clips together to make them tell a story? Okay, today's world, again, it's everything. With video, it's about telling something, a story, a message, something along those lines. And with video, you need to know how to stitch clips together to be able to tell a story. Okay, we will also be talking about how to what are the different platforms that we work with, how to export it for Instagram, how do you export it for TikTok, how do you entice TikTok videos, how do you entice Instagram videos with today's short live attention span of 30 seconds. Within a 15 seconds, if you're not going to catch any attention, that's it. So these are some of the things that we'll be looking at. After Effects, these are like your infographics. If you notice during our COVID period, actually we are still in the COVID period. Okay, stepping out of it. Okay, so during the COVID period, especially, we have a lot of information that's sent out to us. How many packs dining, how many if you're indoor, if you're outdoor, there's so many information. Now imagine reading those in just pure hard text. It's going to be so heavy. But if you notice, okay, we have a lot of this infographics that's helping you to digest all these chunks and chunks of information or story, so that when as the audience digest it, it's very easy to digest them. So with After Effects, we're gonna be looking at how to design motion graphics and what are technical parts of the software itself. Okay, so these are two software we'll be looking at: Adobe Premiere Pro and Adobe After Effects. Okay, finally, yeah, I think I'll try to wrap up as soon. So that the people behind me have time to talk. Okay, so the last one. Once we've gone through those two things, the visual graphics and the video slash motion graphic stuff. Okay, we will be giving you real life problem statements that you will have to attend to. Myself or my trainers will act as the clients. We'll be giving you some issues that we want to as clients want to resolve, and these are through years and years of experience, and we will put them through this capstone project, so you don't have to start right from the start. After you finish the course, at least you have some sort of a experience going through all these projects and stuff like that. And when you're out there, you already know what to do with clients, how to manage difficult clients, how to manage projects and stuff like that. Apart from technical stuff and the design stuff that's involved, we will be also talking about client management. Okay, client management is something that's beyond textbook. It's beyond what chapters of things that that's in a book. Okay, this one has to be really experienced, and because we have the experience, we can then show you guide you through some of the things through real life projects. Okay, if not, actually that is all on my end. I hope
Great.
I didn't take.
Thank you so much, Don.
Yeah, thank you.
So thanks for your sharing. Up next, we have our trainer who will share more about the data analyst program. So over to you, Edmund and Aditya.
Hi, my name is Edmund. I'm the product manager for the data analytics program for the SCTP program. My speaker here is from Zaltius. His name is Mr. Aditya. He will explain to you more about the program for the SCTP data analytics program. Mr. Aditya, okay, over to you.
Cool, thank you. I hope you can hear me clearly. All right. Thanks, Edmund. I hope you all can see my screen. Very good afternoon. So I'll just stick to the 15 minutes that's been given to me. Now, I'm going to talk about the data analyst program, and I'm going to give you a brief of what the program covers. But really, as the name suggests, this program is primarily meant if you are on a pathway that you have decided, and you've decided to become a data analyst, or you want to learn the skills to be a data analyst, then this is the right course for you, because it's going to cover a lot of aspects of what a data analyst does on the day-to-day job, right? Now, this particular program is divided into 3 different segments. I'll talk about each segment in a little more detail and what you will learn in each segment. Segment 1 is all about the foundations, right? Because in order to learn about data analysis, about the in-depth of data science, you need to get a foundational understanding of what data science is and what it actually entails. So the first segment will aim to cover the basics, followed by 2 of the most important tools which data analysts use today, Microsoft Excel and Microsoft SQL. These will help you bring up your understanding not only about the tools, but on the application of tools to real-world problems and how you can actually use them in the industry. So you'll learn more about the tools as well as the business implications. Now I'm going to go into each of the modular courses that are in this segment. So the first segment is Basics of Data Science, which is across 24 hours, covered in 3 days. We all know data science is the buzzword of today, and it is very important to understand and to kind of break down this buzzword into a few things which data science covers. Things like data literacy, basics of visualizations, how do you ask questions about the data, and how do you actually apply all of these to the real world? And those are the important bits which this particular program covers, this particular module covers. Then post that, once you get an understanding of the foundations of the what, the why, where, then we start going into the tools to apply these concepts. So we go into Microsoft Excel first, because that's one of the most widely used tools in the industry. Believe it or not, the biggest to the biggest banks also use Excel for their day-to-day work. So it's very important to know this tool in and out, right? Because Excel, as we know it, is not only used for data entry, but it can be used for a lot more things. So this 4-day course basically helps you understand Excel quickly, things that can help you with data analysis. And the reason why you should be learning this also is because it's a very marketable skill. There's a huge demand, and there are a number of new features which people don't even know about. So this particular module takes you through those features, helps you with the understanding of how they can be applied to data, to different forms of data coming in from different industry domains. And you will go through the life cycle of applying data cleaning, transformation, building reports, and then analyzing the data. So you'll use a lot of features of Excel like functions, pivot tables, Power Query, what if analysis, and so on, to get that deep understanding. Now, every major module that you cover is followed by a capstone project that will allow you to bring in your own data or use one of the provided data sets to create something interactive and something fun, which you can call yours and which you have built and you are explaining to your colleagues in the cohort and your trainers. So the first capstone project is based on Excel and creating interactive dashboards. This is across 4 days, and you basically have to apply what you've learned, right? Put what you've learned into a real world scenario, create an interactive report and analyze it, right? Previous examples that have been done by other students in various other cohorts are, a couple of these that are being shown, and creating a report before they join. Now, post that, we go into 8 days of SQL. We spend a little more time on SQL because it's a very vast tool and it has a lot more things to cover. You will learn how you can perform data engineering operations, or operations which you as a data person should know, being able to transform data, query data from SQL tables, apply different processes, and make sure that data is well prepared for analysis. So SQL is a very important tool for anybody in the data space. So that's what you're going to be learning in summary: how to load data in SQL, perform CRUD operations, joining multiple sources of data, perform data analysis on the data stored in SQL. And you'll be working with a lot of different forms of data to help understand this. Then you go into 4 days of the second capstone, which basically talks about RDBMS, your SQL, as well as Excel put together. So now you will basically apply both these technologies together, because now you know 2 technologies, right? Here, the main aim is to use SQL to structure the data and use Excel as a platform to create reports. And that's basically how you're going to deal with these 2 tools. So you'll get the opportunity again to build something which you can call your own, add to your portfolio, and share with your fellow colleagues and trainers. Again, these are some examples from various domains, as you see, right from help desk to gaming to employee satisfaction, that have been built by some of the previous students, participants who attended. Now, segment 2 is something that lays the foundation for data analysis and advanced analysis a little more deeper. That's where you learn the maths and stats for data science. This particular segment covers the interpretation and the application of mathematical and statistical concepts to business problems. So you are not going to learn the derivation of how something has come about, or go back to school and college mathematics, but you will learn how to apply some of these things and why you need it in the first place. Right now, generally, we're all scared of doing this, but it is very important to know that mathematics and statistics is the foundation for data analysis, advanced analysis, and further things that you will be learning. So why learn? I've already stated some reasons. It's important as a foundation. It is required in a variety of situations when you're doing analysis or advanced analytics and machine learning and things like that. And knowingly or unknowingly, we use it in everyday life. So once you start learning a little bit about it, you will know a little bit about it. In this particular 10 days of maths and stats, you will be introduced to concepts such as matrices, linear algebra, a little bit of calculus, basic statistics for business analytics and optimization. So you learn the interpretation and application of all these different things. Third segment is very interesting because this segment is the longest segment, but you'll be learning a lot of interesting things. Starts off with business intelligence, goes into Python and applications of Python in data analytics and machine learning. This is the portion where we start diving into programming a lot more. So for those who have no prior background, this will be the opportunity to learn how to program right from the foundations up to machine learning. Obviously, these concepts will be a little more heavier and deeper, but it'll prepare you well to understand the application of programming, in the industry. Business intelligence is covered through a tool called Microsoft Power BI. Again, a very powerful tool in the Microsoft ecosystem. One of the more widely used tools today, has a majority market share for business intelligence, leader of the BI tools as well. Over 4 days, we would basically understand what business intelligence is and how it can be a very effective tool to help executives, managers analyze data and make information more actionable. So you'll be learning the different features and functions of the tool, how you can use the tool to plot very interactive graphs, reports, dashboards, learn how to tell a story using these reports and dashboards, and understand the importance of such a tool. Post that, you'll get the opportunity to work with the tool on your own data as well. You'll be given 4 days to collect your data or use one of the pre-existing data sets and build an interactive dashboard. So that's mainly what this capstone covers. Here you can use SQL to bring in your data. You can use Excel to bring in your data, use a combination of all these tools to make this happen. Again, these are some of the past reports that have been created by participants. In business intelligence, you will basically work through different business cases. So you'll have business cases from HR, sales, finance, airlines, banking, and it'll give you a perspective of how different industries actually use it. So it helps you connect with real world problems very well. The last part of the segment is Python programming, going into analytics and machine learning. That's across 18 days, 8 days for programming, 2 days for data analytics, and another 8 days for machine learning. That's basically how it's divided. We all have heard about Python. The demand for Python has skyrocketed over the last few years, and today it's at it's at its peak, where it's actually just rising more and more linearly and exponentially. So learning this is very important in today's world. But more than just learning programming, the application of the programming language to data analysis and machine learning to different business cases is absolutely very important as well. So learning these features and tools is important because you will gain problem-solving skills. Any requirement of a data analyst in the job market today says you need to be problem-oriented. You need to be a problem solver. So that's one of the skills you will gain. Python, machine learning are high in demand skills, along with the others which you saw prior. It is being used in a lot of different roles as well. And the demand is just growing every single day. So any organization who is undergoing digital transformation requires these tools. Post that, you will get the opportunity to spend 5 days to build a machine learning project, and using Python there would be one of your bigger achievements, because you would have used programming to build up a predictive analytics problem, right? And you will get the opportunity to present to your trainers and colleagues once you've built it up across the 5 days. So by the end of the course, you will be familiar with 4 very important tools: Microsoft Excel, Microsoft SQL, Microsoft Power BI, and Python. It's not, and it's not a very exhaustive list of tools, but these are the main tools that are used by data analysts today in the industry. And you will learn a lot of how these tools are applied to different things. That's the main idea. So if you are going into data analysis, then knowing these different techniques using these tools is very important. ETL, which is data sourcing and transformation, analysis, visualization, storytelling, machine learning, understanding a little bit of the cloud, mathematics and statistics, SQL queries. So all of these techniques are what you'll be learning throughout this course, right? You'll be doing that through various methods. So you will be having presentations that are given to you by the instructors. You will be going through a lot of hands-on exercises. Practical learning here will be very important and will be put on priority. You'll be doing a lot of hands-on labs, exercises, very workshop oriented. You will have group discussions with your cohort. You will have the opportunity to prepare for your capstone projects, present that, and you will have timely assessments as well and other forms, which allows you to internalize and retain your knowledge better. So that's about it for this particular segment. And if you have any more questions, just put it on the Q&A. I'll try to answer them there. But just know that this will prepare you enough to help you in the data analyst role. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Aditya. So moving on, we will have James, our product manager for cybersecurity, present on the Cybersecurity Associate powered by KPMG program. Over to you, James.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. A very warm welcome, and thank you for taking the time down to our SCTP webinar. I'll kind of introduce to you the Cybersecurity Associate program powered by KPMG and give you a walkthrough and for what to expect out of this program. So I think at the start, before I start, I'd like to say that this program is we put a lot of thought behind the program. Where we want to marry both knowledge as well as hands-on, right? So this program will be 4.5 months. The first 1.5 months will be pretty much classroom training. And then the next 3 months, you'll be put into OJT, on the job training with KPMG. So just to start off, to say that we have actually taken a study on the in-demand skills that's sought after by the employers. So cybersecurity being one of the top 10, as well as governance, risk management, and personal data protection. Now, the Cybersecurity Agency of Singapore has recently just produced a report based on 2021, the kind of cybersecurity landscape that you see here. And you notice that these are staggering figures, okay? Out of all the crimes in Singapore in 2021, 48% of them falls under cybercrime. 137 cases of ransomware in 2021, which is a 54% increase. And you get to see a lot of malicious programs infecting computers, as well as phishing URLs. And you notice in the recent survey, or recent studies, that there is a skill shortage in Singapore. And from one of the independent survey done by ISC Square, in Asia Pac alone, there's a workforce gap of 1.42 million. So what this means is that there is a shortage of cybersecurity talent in Singapore. And at NTUC LearningHub, we are trying to close this gap, right? Now, we have actually ran this program prior. It's called the SG United, and we have one of a successful candidate who got placed with KPMG. So today he's not able to attend because he has commitment, but he has wanted to share with everyone what this cybersecurity associate is all about, right? So his advice, right, is if you are selected for this program, pace yourself according to your style of study, and we have LHUB trainers with deep industry experience to help you walk through the program. Attend all the class exercises that we give, and this is the best way to learn proactively. Okay, so some of you may have more IT experience, some of you might have less. What we put on paper as the prerequisite is that you minimally need to have 2 years of working experience, whether is it desktop support or system admin, you know. And if you come in with minimal knowledge, you should endeavor to learn the fundamental concepts quickly, or otherwise it'll be very difficult to catch up. And in our trainees onwards, you need to have the right attitude, right? I believe in all the programs that you want to attend out of the 4, attitude is the most important. So the first 1.5 months will take you through the cybersecurity industry training, and then once you understand the theory, we put you through a 3 months on-the-job training with KPMG. You will be assigned to a cybersecurity role within KPMG, depending on your skill sets and your background. You'll be assigned to different portfolios, and during this OJT, you will get to learn the daily job scope of a cybersecurity associate. So as Chu Chen has mentioned earlier, this is the prerequisite for the cybersecurity associate program. Minimally, you should have 2 years of working experience as either an IT support technician or system or network administrator or security administrator. Okay. Now, as I mentioned, this program is, I would say, it's not for the faint-hearted. It's a 4.5 month structured training where we will teach you on cybersecurity, and then you will learn the skills, and then after 1.5 months, you go on to the on-the-job training. So this is a list of the modules that will be covered under this program. Let me go through the modules one by one. So you start off with a network and security essentials. And this course is intended for entry-level IT professional with basic knowledge of computer hardware, for you to gain insight and knowledge into understanding networking concepts as well as security concepts, right? So at the end of this course, you'll be able to configure, manage, and essentially maintain a network devices. You'll be able to implement network security standards and protocols, right? So this will set a baseline for the cohort to go to the next few modules. So the next module will be the Azure fundamentals. Again, here you learn about Azure services, the core solutions and concepts, where you get to understand how to create and configure virtual machines in Azure. And as we all know, Microsoft is one of the big brands. So this is a course that is essential for you to be in this industry. Now, the next course will be AWS. Again, AWS is a heavyweight in cloud compute, right? So this is the next course that you learn. And then we will put you through a series of ISACA courses, where the first course will be CISA. This is by far the ISACA certifications for cybersecurity, and this is mainly on information system auditing. And then next, we put you through series where a majority of the class will be around managing enterprise IT risk. And thereafter, you go on to take CGIT, where it revolves around IT governance. And last but not least, this is the most important course of all, and it's by ISC Square. It's called CISSP. It's the #1 certification for cybersecurity, right? And this allows you to understand and manage the overall security posture of an organization. Thereafter, once you have completed approximately about 1.5 months of structured classroom training, we'll put you over to KPMG, where at KPMG office, you'll be assigned, as I mentioned, to a cybersecurity role. And just to frame your idea of this OJT, is, as I mentioned, not for the faint-hearted. So you really need to be committed, because when you're on board with KPMG, of course, you'll be assigned a team leader or instructor, and within that team that you are in, there will be assigned projects, real life projects that KPMG has undertaken with the client, and so you'll learn, and you'll also be taught how to run these projects. So within KPMG, they have the cyber strategy and governance team, and also they have the cyber transformation team, the cyber defense team, and the cyber response team. So these are the possible roles that you'll be assigned to. The first one is cyber risk analyst, where you will start to perform minor roles in cybersecurity engagement, right? And then you will look into IT risk assessment or security risk assessment. The next role is cyber forensics, where you will learn, the purpose and components of a network, including hardware, software, and protocols. And the third possible role that you'll be assigned to is cloud security analyst. Okay, so this is not the exhaustive list of roles that you may potentially be assigned to, right? Depending on the time frame and the period where you are put through the OJT, and depending on the job assignments, you may be assigned to a different function, right? But at the end of the day, the key takeaway is that for this program, we'll put you through theory for the first 1.5 months, and the next 3 months, you will be hands-on. You will know the inside out, or rather not inside out, but you will experience, right, cybersecurity as a cybersecurity job at KPMG. So I hope that kind of provide you the whole idea of this program and what to expect. Okay, thank you. Over to you, Jen.
Sorry, James, I couldn't quite catch that ending. And have you completed your presentation?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
Yes,
great.
Jen.
Thanks. All right. So I think now we'll move on to the Q&A session. So throughout the presentation, actually, we have been answering the questions put up in the Q&A box. So let's just right? So we'll start the Q&A session. Meanwhile, this QR code will lead you to our website where you can read more and submit your application. So I think I will just address some common questions that were raised. So one is, will this webinar recording be shared with us? Yes, we'll be sending all attendees this webinar recording. And are applications still open? Yes, all applications are still open. Another question is there any age limit to enroll? So no, there is no age limit to enroll. Just keep in mind that this program is intended to help make careerists transit to new sectors or job roles. So as long as you intend to continue contributing to the workforce that meet the program's objectives, you are welcome to apply. So another question is, for candidates who don't meet the entry requirements in STEM discipline, will other areas of discipline be considered? So if you don't meet the entry requirements of, let's say, a diploma in STEM, we may still be able to consider your application on a case-by-case basis, especially if you are able to show past experience with any STEM discipline. So you can apply, put the details in your profile, and we will consider it on a case-by-case basis. What is the typical class size? Our typical class size ranges from 15 to 30 packs. So another question is there any training allowance for SCTP? So no, there is no training allowance. However, trainees are allowed to take on part-time employment as long as you continue to prioritize the program and fulfill the requirements of 75% attendance and pass all assessments. So a question is, when will be the closing date for application? So because we have limited seats available on a first come first served basis, so do submit your application as soon as you're able to. So another question is also, will there be subsequent cohorts if the seats run out? Or if I'm not able to join this year, will there be an intake in 2023? So we have limited seats available for 2022 on a first come first served basis, subject to you meeting the program eligibility criteria. However, we are in talks with the relevant funding agency to offer one or more of these programs next year. And we will update our website once details are finalized. So you can continue to check in on this URL or QR code that is provided. All right, so I see another question. Is there any allowance for selected individuals for these programs? So I think I answered that previously, which is that there is no training allowance for the SCTP. For the other product managers present, if you want to answer any questions live, you may do so too. There's a question of maybe drop email to speakers later if there's more questions. So you can use this QR code and read up more about the program. And then there is, of course, a QR code to submit any inquiries you have. And we'll refer them to the relevant trainers and subject matter experts. So another question of, is it online class? So maybe I will just refer back to the program overview. So the Associate Data Analyst, Oracle Java Programmer, and Cybersecurity Associate program is fully virtual. However, the Digital Marketing and Graphic Design Specialist has virtual and face-to-face components due to some software needed. Dave has also asked, will there be night class lessons in the future? So yes, actually next year when we offer this program, well, we hope to offer this program again, we are looking at part-time schedules. So those will be night lessons and weekend lessons.
Yeah, Zuchen, there is some questions have been asked for the associate data analyst program. Some of the questions were asked if I come from an accounting background or any other A-level cert, will I be still able to take up the course? The answer is yes, you can take up the course. Maybe Aditya, maybe you want to explain a bit more of the trainee backgrounds, how this this program is suitable for trainees regardless any background. Yeah.
Okay, sure. So basically, for any particular person who has no background of, programming or anything of that sort, then this is suitable because it starts from the foundational level. So both for the data side as well as for the programming side, it starts at the foundational level. So if you don't have a background, it's suitable. You'll start with the foundations and then you will go up to learning the more important concepts. And the whole course is designed in such a way that it kind of levels up, as you go through it. So it starts with the more basic stuff and then moves a little more into the intermediate and advanced thing. So that's why it is kind of suitable for everybody by and large.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Atia.
Thanks.
So as you have heard from the man and the experts from themselves, okay? So the Associate Data Analyst program is for anyone, all right? Regardless of any background. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Thanks. So another question is, if I find a job halfway through the program, can I drop out? So yes, if you find a job during halfway through the program, you can choose to withdraw from the program.
Okay. Hey, hi, Chuchen. I think there are a few questions on the cybersecurity program. There's one question on how does KPMG determine which area an individual will be assigned to. So there will be a kind of like a meeting with KPMG where you will share with KPMG your background and your preferred role. But that doesn't mean that KPMG will assign you to your preferred role. They will look into your background and assign you accordingly. In our last SGS program, there are instances where the candidate felt that after 2 weeks, they are not so okay with that role. It's possible to be reassigned to a different role depending on your preference. Some may want to go into more technical role. Some may want to go into less technical role. So the option is open. But again, like I said, the mandate comes from KPMG. There's also another question on the cybersecurity certifications. So in terms of the assessment, you will need to pass the internal assessment set by NTUC LearningHub. However, if let's say you wish to opt to take the external exam by the vendor, you can choose to do so. NTUC does not provide you with the exam voucher, but of course you can purchase the exam voucher from NTUC. And yes, we can look into discount. I think also a lot of you asked for the 2 years of minimum experience required for this role. If you do not have, then how, right? So I would recommend you to still submit your application. We will do a background check on your CV, and if needed, we'll do an interview. Again, I say some of you may not have the prerequisite, but we also want to look into the attitude, right? So you can be a fast learner, but you may not have the prerequisite, or you may have only 50% of the prerequisite. We can still consider. Yeah. So just submit your application, and then we can conduct the interview with you and to find out whether you're suitable for this program. That's all, Chuchen. Thanks.
Thanks. I'll just head back to the Q&A page. Oh, James, there is a more recent question. Is this program in conflict with TIPP program?
Absolutely not. Yeah, it's a totally different program from FIP or TIPP. So the TIPP program is funded by IMDA. It is a cybersecurity bootcamp that we partner with an Israel company, cybersecurity company. The content or the curriculum in the TIPP bootcamp is vastly different from the SCTP Cybersecurity Associate Program.
Thanks. There's a question from Angus. Do we need to pass the exam for the courses? So yes, every module actually comes with an internal assessment and you need to pass the assessments. So there's a question, is there a website that's all this information? So yes, you can actually scan this QR code or access the URL in the chat box to access all this information. It's available on our NTUC LearningHub course page. So similarly, if you have any further queries beyond this webinar, actually there is an inquiry form on the web page. So then after you read even more information, then you can submit your inquiries there. James, you wanted to say something?
Yes. Thanks, Shuchen. Yeah, I think there's one question that you may have, right? Like, will I be 100% placed by KPMG if I go through the FIOS OJT? The answer is it depends on your performance, right? So it's the same for going for interviews or going for your probation with the company. So during the 3 months, when you are on the job with KPMG, KPMG team will assess your performance, and there will be a monthly progress report that will be churned out. And depending on your performance and how they feel whether you're suitable for their organization, they may or may not hire you, right? So there's no 100% confirm that you'll be hired by KPMG. Again, it depends. It all depends on you yourself. Yeah, thanks, Richard.
No problem. So there's another question, anonymous question. How do you count long-term unemployed? So I think I shared just now that it's actually if you've been unemployed for 6 months, then it's long-term unemployed. So if you're looking to, let's say, calculate your eligibility, I'll recommend you to first submit your application. All right, and thereafter, once we assess your eligibility, actually our course consultant will get in touch with you and figure out, your eligibility for the different funding schemes. Another question for cybersecurity, James, is it accredited by ISC Square?
The CSSP module that you will undergo follows the curriculum by ISC Square. But if you are talking about getting the certification for CSSP, you need to have 4 to 5 years of relevant work experience in 2 out of 6 of the cyber domains that is required by ISC Square. Yeah. So the extra exam, we do not provide the exam voucher. You can procure on your own. Yeah. So the curriculum, the content follows the ISC Square curriculum. Yes.
So we also have questions on, I've just completed SGUS or I've taken SGUS before. Am I still eligible for the funding? So yes, you'll still be eligible for the SCTP program. Okay, so I think we will wrap up this Q&A session. So if there are any outstanding questions that we have not answered or we didn't manage to answer because we have to come to a close on this session, you can scan this QR code or go to this link here. It will lead you to our landing page. And after you read more questions, if you want to share your questions, then there is an inquiry form. All right, so with that, we have come to the end of our webinar today. So we will be sending the webinar recording to all attendees here for your reference. And do take note to complete the application process to be considered for the program. So on behalf of NTUC Learning Hub, thank you for joining us today and have a good day ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So on, and then we
Thank
can
you.
present it.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.